Hello. What's up, people? 74th edition, Zack Miller Live. So, you're really annoying. That is not what you want people to think about when they're thinking about you. So, if you are being really annoying, guess what? The results that you're looking for, the conversion that you're looking for, the sale, the date, the relationship, the whatever isn't going to happen. So how do you know if you're annoying? Well, the first thing I would do is to think about what annoys you. What annoys me? A cold sales call with someone trying to sell me something, that it would be very easy to understand that I don't want that. So if you are having conversations with people, if you meet someone, if you get this call and you are annoyed, think about that process. Think about what's going on there. Think about what is actually going on. And what I want you to do is to promise me, please, don't be that thing. Just don't be that annoying person, that annoying strategy to someone. So if you hate getting a cold sales call from someone where they're literally selling you, I think it's okay to reach out to people. But if someone calls you and is like, we want you to buy this thing, and you're annoyed by that, you're ticked off, you're angry at that, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to have a bad thought about that person, probably never do business with them. So when someone says you are really annoying, that's like the worst thing possible, because then they dislike you, then they don't like you. They kind of can't stand you. And so what I want you to do is be thinking about, when does this happen to you? When are you annoyed? When are you ticked off? When is a scenario that you're going through just irk you? Then dissect what that scenario has done, right? So in the case of, is it a call where someone is trying to bombard you with a ridiculously not good deal? And make sure that you don't do that yourself. Because if you do that, you are literally doing the exact process and scenario that you cannot stand. So literally, when I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? I say, well, have I ever been in this scenario recently? Or does this scenario piss me off? Now, listen. You know what I've realized, by the way? I speak a lot with my hands. I don't know why. So, first of all, you're not going to please everyone. So you can't do that, right? So there will be people that are annoyed with you. Maybe they're not your customers. Maybe not worry about them. But what I don't want you to do is the exact same process, scenario, language, whatever that annoys you, and then you do that to someone else. So if you are in a scenario, and this probably happens every few days, every few weeks, right? Write those down. Literally create a document. Send them to me, because I'll talk about them, right? Write them in a piece of paper. Be like, okay, this is the scenario. This is what happened. I did not like it. It was very painful, right? If you then learn from that scenario was poor, why would you then do it to someone else? It's like research and development, but on you, so that you don't have to do it yourself. Now, I was drinking coffee all day. I like my coffee black. Apparently, I'm supposed to say, once you go black, you never go back. That happened at an event yesterday morning where someone did say that. It was hilarious. And I said, I'm going to do it on my show. I forgot to do it yesterday. I just remembered to do it today. So yes, I drink my coffee black. There you go. Now, there you go. Lauren Smith says, smiley face. Let's go Mountaineers. Yes, that's what the cup is. It's beautiful. So, I think we can learn a lot by just the scenarios that we live through. I think that we can think about the scenarios that we go through that we're unsatisfied in, and actually satisfied in too, and actually try to replicate those scenarios in our own businesses. So on the opposite, we talked about the negative side of this, like you're really annoying, right? If that's what people think about you, guess what's going to happen? Not good things. But on the opposite side of that, is the positives, right? So think about the positives that you love, that you can copy those processes for, that you can learn how to leverage those processes, those scenarios, etc. What's the one that we always talk about here? MyPleasure.com. Please don't go there. That was probably a bad thing to say. I don't know what that site is. So before you go at full disclosure, I'm just talking about Chick-fil-A and how when they say, I can't believe I said that. It's so funny. When you say thank you, what do they say? My pleasure. Because you feel good about that scenario. So just by when someone talks to you, you say thank you. And you say you're welcome. Or like I've been doing for months, years, etc., holding the door for someone. Right? If you like that scenario when someone did it for you, maybe you do it for yourself, right? We live through these scenarios every day. We just don't think about how to learn from them to not do the mistakes or do what the positives are. So a lot of you guys that are listening are like, oh, I love that you're so positive about holding the door for someone, saying thank you, whatever. You can do it too. Like these things are easy to implement, right? Or easy to not do, right? So if you hated a scenario that you're put through, don't put someone else through that scenario. If you loved a scenario that you went through, think about doing that yourself. It's not really that hard. Clever line, Christy. Once you go blacksmith, you never go back. Very clever. So I need you guys to do me a favor. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. I need you guys to like this content, and I would love for you guys to share it as well. If you are listening, if you like to listen to audio, like a podcast, I would love for you guys to then go to wherever you listen to shows, podcasts, and type in my name, Zack Miller, Z-A-C-K, not an H, Miller, and then the word says, S-A-Y-S, and subscribe to where those are. That's all I need you to do. It would be super awesome to do that. But think about this. We're going to wrap up with this. The negative scenarios that you go through, don't then do them to other people. The same thing that's positive, do those scenarios. Because what you love you can learn from, what you hate you can learn from, and I love using my hands apparently. I just interviewed someone for my other show. He also had equally as good hair as me. And it was awesome. His name was Jeet. He's from Orange County, California. So we live on like opposite coasts of each other. Super crazy. Woo! But in all seriousness, don't do the things that you hate. Those scenarios that you go through. And the scenarios that you love, figure out ways to do those in your day-to-days. That's all I got. Episode 74 of your favorite show and mine, Zack Miller Live, is in the books. Appreciate you guys being here today. And if you liked what you saw, give it a like, a love, and subscribe wherever you listen to videos or audios or podcasts or whatever at Zack Miller Says. Woo! Bye.